this is fine.
I don't know, it just popped up as one of my options.
And we're back.
From holidays.
Okay. So, Ivy, you have yourself a note. Very, very small note. You're gonna open it. You're gonna hold on to it for a little while. Presumably, you've come back home at some point, or found like a place where no one else is around.
Yeah, I would wait till we were done at the library and head back home, and yeah, I'll open it.
Okay. So the note is rather unusual. Do you speak Goblin?
Nope.
Okay.
I only speak Common.
So the only word you will notice here is translation.
All right.
When it has a question mark after it.
What?
Yeah. Like, translation?
Yeah?
No.
Oh.
This is got the paper.
Try tapping translation and see if it translates for you.
Translation?
She could always call her neighborhood cleric to translate it for her.
I was gonna say, oh, Antaeus of many languages.
She doesn't want to call her friendly neighborhood
Antaeus.
Spider-Man?
Whoa! Whoa, just because I have to use a linguistics check to understand it doesn't mean anything.
I'm so confused.
Oh, that's right. You don't speak Goblin, do you? Oh, no.
It's like 3 languages I don't know.
Sorry, yeah, we were just biding time while you were dealing with your baby.
Bebe.
The little babino.
Yeah, she's just permanently angry right now, and I don't know why.
Tell her I can yell louder. That'll change her mind.
That was a Family Guy skit.
I'm sure it
on a
was.
plane.
Family Guy's garbage.
But yeah, so the only thing
I call
I
everything
recognize is translation on it.
Yep, translation question mark.
Random, okay.
Or is it? Maybe it's intentional. Or maybe it's not. It's a mystery wrapped in enigma, wrapped in a creamy nougat, finally topped with chocolate.
Oh.
No.
Yummy.
What do you wish to do? I guess I'll come back to you. Well, the baby is de angry. Cool run. What do you mentioned getting back home? What do you want to do when you make your way back home? Walking fast.
I mentioned meeting up with Antaeus at some point, but I don't know if that's possible since he was there. And
you can manage to find him a little later in the day.
There you are, you dirty elf. I'm just kidding. How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great. Come on, smile, Antaeus. It's a good day. Things are going well for us.
With or without the teeth? I'm not sure if the teeth is too aggressive.
It's fine. You look great. Do you follow any gods, by the way?
I mean, I don't worship them per se, but I mean, I follow them in the sense that I keep up with them.
Well, if you're thinking of reproducing Krauskran's book, I think you should pay him homage at least and claim him as your deity. At the minimum, at least, I would think.
Well, I mean, I would like him to raise to the prominence that he's deserving of. I think
Why
that
do
it'd
you
be
care
hard
about
to.
that if you're not going to put your faith in him?
Well, because I think that I'm not saying that I want to put my faith in him, but I think that following him solely would be
Would be what?
difficult. Difficult, especially not knowing much about him. But I see no reason that he shouldn't have the same level of prominence, or at least the opportunity of it, as other gods.
True. Well, I'll work on translating this text to normal paper for you, but while you think about your reasons for wanting to even do this, because so far you haven't given me much good ones.
Well, at the very least, I'd like to know more about him, and I think that like an unknown god is something that you don't come across every day.
How about this? In order to get, I don't know if I told anyone this yet, but in order to get Krauskran officiated in a temple, I need to get all the other churches to agree to it. So perhaps you want to assist me in doing this?
Certainly. That's something actually that I would be very interested in doing.
Excellent. So I got the blessing of Shashat's temple from Moirin, and I have plans to speak with the other temples and seeing if I can get them on board as well. Moirin made it very clear I shouldn't let the others know that any others have signed. So each time we go in, we're acting as if they will be the first one to agree.
Understood.
Or at least not mention it.
Do you know specifically which temples, or which gods, I suppose?
Yes. I have 5 others that I've selected from my repertoire of knowledge of the gods that I think will support allowing Krauskran in. Goran will pull out, I don't know, parchment or something that he's written this on. Maybe your thoughts here would be appreciated, Andreas. But so far I've come up with Onher, Lars, Delanrian, I don't know how to pronounce this one, Athyr. Aether, and Deshrid are the ones I've come up with. What do you think?
That last one threw me for a loop, I must admit. Deshrid, the sea god?
Yes, they share the domain of strength. So I looked for gods with commonalities that they could relate to.
That's an excellent idea.
Aether was
Aether.
You'll have to pronounce that one for me, but they're more for revelry and celebration, and I thought of taking it at the angle that if they allow a new temple, it'll be a big celebration. And
how much do you know about Aether?
As much as my knowledge religion will allow me. A lot.
Yeah, you know quite a bit about Aether. You know that the celebration thing isn't like what would sell them on it, but it's not a bad way to first start talking about the conversation. But Aether is about like kind of, living life to the best you can and doing stuff and enjoying yourself and giving everybody else the ability to enjoy themselves as well. There's a lot about like living your life and sharing your life and keeping joy abounding.
Now that I'm thinking
big
on it,
feasts.
Now that I'm thinking on it, I think what I was saying would help us get us in the door, but we should approach it as more everybody should be enjoying themselves and stuff like that, and what more to help more people enjoy themselves than another deity to allow for choice. More celebrations, maybe a new holiday in Krauskran's honor. Things like this might sway their favor to allow it, give their blessing.
Excellent choice. See that you've done your research. It's very good.
The other tricky one that I picked was Delanrian. The closest thing I could think of is protection. You need strength to protect others, and I don't know. That one's a little bit of a gamble. I don't really know what else to do with that one.
Well, how much do you know about Delanrian?
We'll see. Not as much.
Oh, yeah. Delanrian cares a lot about the earth and about animals and about people, and wants them to all be able to reach their truest life. by living the best life they can here. And to achieve that, they do great deeds, they take care of things, they keep other things safe, and then once they die, they hope to be brought back in their true form. The form of something they can live in for the rest of their lives.
Ah, yes. I guess I should have started with this, but what were you able to uncover from the book about Kraskrog?
I haven't read it fully yet. It'll take me time and days to read through the text. I hope to perhaps it will give me more selling points for Kraskrog with the other churches, temples.
Indeed. I think that, well, I mean, obviously you would do your research on it. It seems like you've done excellent research thus far. Just, I suppose understanding more than just the domains, which is a very good start, though, is a good way to link them. And I'm just trying to, I would like to know a little bit more, and then I could do a little more research on the gods themselves to perhaps find more information. I do have a little bit of downtime today, I suppose.
The problem I see is, I don't know how the other temples are doing, but I think a lot of the temples are getting antsy about how many followers they have. An introduction of a new deity may pose problems. They may think they may lose more. What do you think about this?
What do I know about Neosi? I don't know.
Give me a knowledge religion.
Okay, I couldn't remember if I had given you one about that when I went in and spoke with the woman.
Yeah, so it's been a while anyway. So Neosi is sort of the god of like peaceful rest. Neosi believes that like all life that works hard and does well on this world deserves a peaceful rest, and those who have been troubled or tormented or caused such should also find their rest as well. And maybe in doing so, they can bring back calm by no longer having to partake in the difficulties of existing.
Actually, I think I got the wrong god. But Neosi is something that I would have wanted to know about as well, to see if that fits within, and I'll mention all that to Gulron as well. Which was the one that when I went and got the items, I thought Neosi was the one that she was had the symbol for the boring god of knowledge.
No, Suinol.
Suinol, that's what it was.
Suinol, yeah.
Or I guess boring in the sense that Suinol is not an extremist.
Mm-hmm.
And
Suinol is neutral.
Yeah, actually, that's something that I would also be trying to mull over in my mind and see if I have a decent.
You think Neosi better than any of the ones I listed? Seems like it's not as relevant as the ones I said, no?
No, I believe I misspoke about Neosi. That was something that I had encountered that I did want to do more research on, though. I believe that was when we were in the. Was that when we were in the underground, perhaps? Anyways, yes, Suinol was the one I was trying to think of, and I suppose I should go back and speak to her. She's one of the gods of knowledge. I don't know much about them, but
I thought that was a male god. Wasn't it the son of Shashad and Thoth?
Yes. My apologies.
That's correct.
My apologies. I was thinking of the person that I had met in the shop that had the Suinol decoration.
To be honest, I didn't really consider Suinol. It was kind of, I don't know, felt too soon related to Shashad and stuff. I don't know.
Understandable. I just didn't know if the knowledge would be of Kraskrog would be something they would be interested in, but I don't recall much about the religion in and of itself or the properties of it, so it might not be a good fit. But just trying to remember the other gods that. I mean,
we get rejected by one. Suinol's a good backup, I think.
Yes.
Although I don't know how word gets around if one priest tells another that they rejected my proposal and then they all start wanting to reject it. I don't know.
Well, a rabbi and priest, a minister, walk into a bar and they start discussing Gulron, having a conversation with them.
I bet Thoth would do you a favor.
Fuck Thoth.
Yes, very much so.
Thoth is a very, very good person. Just looking out for the world.
I suppose Steve, I'm gonna try to mull over the other gods that I can remember that weren't on his list, or Sulanol or Neosi. I don't know. If you want me to roll another religion.
You know Ryoshin and
Yeah, no, we're not
and
going
you,
to Ryoshin.
Ryoshin and Yulaz are probably out. Although Ryoshin and Krazkaran have that whole like fiery thing, you know. Krazkaran is like, you know, got some fire in him, and Ryoshin's all about the fire.
Maybe not the best fit. Maybe like a third option. If
Yulaz though is probably the opposite of honor. In like every conceivable sense. So yeah, in terms of the rest of them, there is also, of course, the 8. You never know. The 8 might be on board. The 8 might not be.
The 8, I don't know if they have a place of worship here, but the 8 might be either the easiest or most difficult one to convince.
They literally have to have a place of worship here. I have to get the approval of the existing establishments.
Yes.
If they don't, and also I'm not a huge fan of the 8, but
The 8 will provide.
we'll come up with alternatives should we fail on these. I think my list is strong. Here.
There's also Mayet. Don't forget Mayet.
Yes, Mayet. What do I remember
Mayet's
about
in a similar
Mayet?
place as Krazkaran. It's forgotten. Unfortunately, I don't think there'll be a worship here for him.
Is that true?
No, there is a place to worship Mayet.
Well, I guess I should follow that up if I have that information with this to see if this legally qualifies as a.
So the temple to Mayet gets shut down a lot because a lot of what they do is very similar to gambling. And gambling is most certainly not legal in Knightsbridge.
Buddy duddies.
But they usually manage to get it reopened once they get it qualified as like, no, this is our god. Like, we're not just gambling here. The money goes to good things. It's not being like taken and used to like reinvest in gambling.
Yeah, they have a wheel, right?
Yeah, there's like wheels for some, dice for some other stuff. There's like shell games and like reach into this bucket and pull something out and see what happens.
Was Mayet the place that Ra went to where I had the random potions?
Yeah.
That was actually really entertaining.
Well, yeah, and they also just recently, within the last year or so, legally were obligated to tell you the odds of your chances, right? Isn't that how that works?
No, that has not yet happened here or anywhere else.
Gotcha. Well, it's always an option, but once again, not sure how viable that option is. But yeah, of course, I'd be more than happy to help spread the good word.
Excellent. And remind me, when's the next thing we have to do before we're back on the road?
We would have. Today's the
You don't
second
still have
for
to give
5
us some
days.
time off, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe today's the second for 5 days.
You've got 3 more full days left.
Yes, 3 days and some change.
Right. So maybe you want to help me out these next few days, talking to these different temples and seeing what we can get done.
Certainly, I do have to spend some time at the ministry with the helping them do the work, but it's not.
Of course, while you do that, I'll be reading my texts. And...
Yes, low charisma characters carry out your charismatic mission.
Yes. Certainly don't want to take a
me.
charisma character.
Wait, what low charisma character are you talking about, Steve? I do believe that in order to be able to use my dream ability, I had to bump my charisma up to a 15.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I mean, mine's a 21, so.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess 15 is a huge +2. That's what you get from assisting. So.
Well, I mean, I've met Gulran. I can safely assess his charisma is lower than that. No offense. It's better for him to be wise because that is definitely not a forte of mine. Well,
Gulran's not quite Arvos, though.
No. I'm assuming Aravos' charisma comes from his looks. But yes, of course. I I suppose when I'm at the ministry, I could look into seeing if.
Tomorrow we should try to regroup with everyone and see what everyone's up to and let them know what we're up to.
Yes, of course.
There's also something I need to bring up to everyone as well.
Oh, did you also have a weird dream?
What makes you say that?
I had a weird dream where somebody spoke directly to me, and I wasn't able to decipher who it was.
Who spoke to you?
I wasn't able to decipher who it was.
Did they
I don't.
threaten
No, they said that I did a good deed by bringing Brianna there, so I'm assuming it's somebody probably at her school. But I don't know. It's a male voice. Actually, I suppose I could ask Niev about that, but no. Other than that, I've just spoken to somebody about potentially getting Kraskron's book published. If you'd like to speak to him yourself, you're more than welcome to. I'll kind of give you an idea of where he's at. He's a very rustic building.
How much does he want?
We haven't talked about this particulars yet. I told him that I would be, obviously I would need your blessing to do so. But he's been in the publishing game for, he said, at least as long as I've been alive, which is interesting because it was hard to put a pin down onto what race he is. But seems like and his speech pattern was like an amalgamation of different races going in and out of dialects. It was very odd, peculiar, in an interesting way, of course.
Odd. In all your time, you've never encountered something like that before?
No, I tried to do the thing that I did with Niev when she had been transforming, but didn't seem to yield any results. It seemed that it wasn't anything natural, that it had to have been either an accident or self-inflicted, and I don't think I've ever come across anybody that's, I don't know, you'll notice him when you see him, but if you decide to talk to him, of course.
Well, it doesn't have to talk. I'll assess his character and see if he's honorable to do this.
Of course. Figured at the very least it'd be a good idea to introduce you to him before, start making plans and deals with people behind your back. Not my intention, of course.
Ha! I hope you never do something like that.
No, I wouldn't do anything like that would intentionally be deceitful towards anybody in our group.
You're being oddly specific with that.
Well, but what I do with my pharmaceuticals was a completely different thing. It's not. It's an endeavor in my personal time as opposed to being something that's related to our group. So, of course, I wouldn't want that to bring any danger to us either. But
Antaeus, you're giving me a headache. It's getting late. Let's meet up in the morning and find the rest of them, and let's talk more.
Of course, I'll see if I can find out anything about the churches in town. Before I do a little research before I go to sleep, and then I'll see if I find anything.
In this late in the day, you're not likely to find anything. So
gotcha.
We'll talk tomorrow. Don't stay up too late. Let's get an early day tomorrow.
Yes, I suppose it is later than I thought it was. Yes, of course.
All right. Yeah.
What about the other two of you? Anything you wanted to do? The note, if you can. I don't know if you're. I know you were slap boxing over there a minute ago.
Yeah, she's kind of going back and forth between being angry and being fine. I was gonna try one thing before I just ask for someone's help, and I'm gonna do that.
Actually, real quick, I suppose I'd go meet up with the other two to let them know that we're meeting back up in the morning, because I don't know if it had been specified. I think that was the first I had heard about it, so.
Yep, so you will notice the note is magical. But that will not allow you to read it.
Okay, but knowing that it is magical makes me wonder if there's something. Okay. I'm going to. I don't know. I have no clue what he did to this, but I'll literally out loud say translation and see if anything happens.
Nope.
No? Okay, well, I don't know then.
The wonderful mind of Ivy tries one thing and gives up.
Hey,
Ivy's strong suit isn't that she's smart. Yeah.
Brad's like, oh, this thing doesn't work. Useless.
Hey, I at least
Just throw it away.
magical, okay? I know there's magic on this thing. Does it tell me I have to?
Are you looking for the instruction booklet that came along with this?
Yes.
You need a knowledge arcana or a spellcraft. I don't think you have either.
I can spellcraft. I just can't knowledge arcana. Is this one a spellcraft?
Yeah,
or
it's
arcana?
gonna be hard for you to identify. You can give me a spellcraft, but
I mean, I have an okay spellcraft.
oh shit, nice like high roll there.
Yeah.
It's a parchment.
So yeah, looking at this, you will notice. I forget what the spell is called. I always forget that people are gonna like spellcraft things, and I have to like look back up what the spell was. I can't just say that things are
Exploding
similar.
runes.
Translation.
Oh, God. You didn't read the whole thing, did you? Because there's exploding runes, by the way.
Who would do that?
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's something I could have taken in, as one of my discoveries: explosive calligraphy.
You could have made learning about Kraskuran even more exciting.
Oh
like,
my
you know.
god.
Yeah, to get all the knowledge, every page has exploding runes on it, so you have to be real tough to be able to get through the book.
Yeah, so there is some kind of secret page underneath this.
Ooh.
So there is text beneath the text.
Subtext?
Do I have any idea how you're supposed to read the text beneath the text?
That's what a knowledge arcana check is for.
Rip. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait until the next day and get my knowledge arcana expert to help me out with that.
Okay.
Oh, well, good point. How late in the day exactly is it, Steve?
It is really late in the day, I'm gonna say.
So, like, too late to conceivably go over to somebody's house and not be bothersome by...
No, late enough that you could stop by and say, like, hey, we're meeting up tomorrow morning.
Okay, because that's what I would do, because from the vibe I got from Goran, it didn't sound like everybody else knew, but I wasn't sure. Because this was the first I had heard about it, so I figured best to let everybody else know in case they weren't aware.
Yep. Okay.
So, I'll go do that.
Yep. You can notify Brianna and Ivy.
Yeah.
Brianna's in her backyard tending her compost pile, working on her garden, watering her armor.
Yes. Why are you all saying Brianna?
I did it because everybody else was saying it. I meant Niev.
Everybody else thinks Steve.
But
Did I say Brianna?
You sure did.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't even recognize that I said Brianna, so we may wrap up early. I might devolve into, like, playing a whole different campaign at the rate I'm going.
Alright, so Bissy's gonna...
Alright, so Aravos, you're gonna see Brianna over there, and
I cast web.
No.
and then Kandor, you're going to take care of Ra.
Look at Everly. She's loving this. Look, she's having a great time.
But yeah, rest tonight will be peaceful comparatively.
Also, when I stop by Niev's house, I'll ask her if she knows. I guess all I have is a voice. Any male voices from her university?
Well, I mean, I knew a couple of guys that were in my party studies or party theory class, but I don't think that they have the ability to communicate through dreams. Maybe they went to my professor, Professor Phelan. Did it sound like an older guy?
No.
No. It
Nope.
sounded like a younger, or like a
Like a younger person.
Sound like a younger man. But never gave him his name.
I'm not too sure. I mean, there's obviously a lot of young people on campus. Perhaps they found someone that was able to do the dream spell.
Interesting. Thank you. I just figured I'd ask it. just in
Yeah,
case.
sure. But they
but-
they said Brianna was fine. Did they mention Constog at all?
No, but last time I sent a message, she was fine. Well, fine enough to receive the message at least. I knew that it would send to her, so and given the nature of the message, I wanted to make sure that it got through as opposed to experimenting and trying to send it to Brianna directly. But no, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything. He said something about Brianna, and that was it. And it was I did a good deed by bringing her, sending her there, and following her path, something of that nature.
Sounds like it might be someone Brianna's met since she's been there. She was a fairly outgoing person, right? So she probably has made some friends.
Yes, to say the least. But yes, I suppose we will see you in the morning. I'm not sure when I'm meeting up, but yes. Well, good night.
All right, good night. Thanks for telling me.
And I
Of
think,
course.
unfortunately, this is where we're going to wrap up tonight. My brain is trying really, really hard, but I am running out of gas.
So good. Can we get experience?
Yes, you all can get some XP.
We also haven't gotten XP for like 1 to 2 sessions.
You got-
Definitely not last week.
You got XP last week.
We did not get XP last week.
John, go to the notes. Go to the tape.
I don't have any XP written down, but I might have missed it.
You got
I just
XP
thought
though
that they-
from the session before.
Well, we definitely didn't get XP last week.
I was only saying that because I remember specifically one week John was like, wrote down in the notes that we did not get XP that week.
Okay, hold on. What are you guys at for XP right now?
Good question.
What are you bitches at?
41,000.
I feel like you're trying to take advantage of the fact that my brain is so fucking
No,
fried.
we
No.
legitimately did not get XP last week, and when we were sitting like after game, I almost said something, but then we got into other conversations, and I just never
Right.
brought it up.
Hang on, look at people's sheets. Alright, so, but I did give you guys XP for the Magma Golem, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we
and
just
the
haven't
other
gotten
golem
XP
kinda-
for
okay.
it was like the last session that was.
So yeah, let's go ahead and make it about 1,600 XP across the 2 sessions.
You said 1,600?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I apologize to everybody out there for the short session, but we are out of here. Good night, everyone, and we will see you next week.